got you.
That's the last one.
Hey, I got scripture for you.
Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakhan Kadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Honor and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is the priest Bilal.
This is priest Howard, priest Barakabah.
Priest Barakabah. Yeah, you know, we got the priest Shemai on the camera, man. And, you know, through the spirit of power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. You can see, man, brothers together. You know, another beautiful day to preach the word, man. And, you know, the topic right now is, you know, spiritual powers, martial law, you know, and the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because the time we were coming in, you know, you got ice about to roll up on Jake tomorrow, man. You know, and the brother, you know, Slack, I forget his name, man, the head of LA, you know, he made a beautiful point. He said, you know, they ain't gonna go after Ishmael and all these fucking Arabs, man. It's basically about Jake, man. You know, Jake is going into the tribes, man. You know, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. You know, you Puerto Ricans, Ephraim. You know, you Dominicans, you Haitians. You know, that's who they're going to go after, man. You know?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
You know, and then this time, the time that is coming in, man, it's coming to the time where Jake, you know, let me not say just Jake, the elect, you know, it's going to be blessed by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Because in the time that we're coming in, man, Esau is going to roll on us, man. Right. We're going to have some type of power to fight back. So the Most High is going to bless us.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 7. It says, the Lord shall cause thy enemy to rise up against thee.
Right, and who's our enemy, man? The so-called white man, Esau, and all these other nations, man. The Chinese, Japanese, stinking ass Africans, those are our enemies, man. But the main enemy that's going to rise up against us now is the so-called white man. Right.
The Lord will cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face.
Right, to be smitten before our face, man. They gonna rain down hard on us, man. You know? Mainly on 2/3, man. Right. Mainly on 2/3, because the Lord's gonna protect his elect, man. That's right. You brothers out there that's doing the work, let's say you a so-called immigrant, man, the Most High's gonna protect you, man. The Most High's gonna keep you from all that shit, man. But 2/3, you assed out, man. That's right. Right.
The Lord is gonna shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways.
Right, now, like I said earlier, man, the Most High is going to give us that power, man. The Lord is going to give the elect that power, man. You know? So guess what? When the so-called white man coming against us, you know, Lord, we be the elect, man. Guess what, man? We going to send you as flying, man. Separate directions. One body's gonna go 10 directions, man.
You're gonna put your asses to flight.
That's right, man. Because you gotta understand, Esau, this is a spiritual thing, man. We trust and believe in our power, and we know that our power is real, man. And our power ain't happy right now, man.
That's right.
You know? Our power ain't happy right now with what's going on with his elect, man.
Like I said, this is a 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Right, man. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, man. Woe meaning destruction, man. Hey, tomorrow, man. And you know what they're going to do when they round up all those Israelites? They're going to put them in concentration camps, man. Right. They're going to torture them.
They're going to separate their families.
They're going to separate their families. They're going to rape them. They're going to rob them too, man.
And they're going to chip them.
And that's definitely going to happen, man. They're definitely going to chip them, man.
Right. It says, verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh.
Right, man. And that's his prophecy playing out right now, man. The sword and the destruction draweth nigh, man. And it's near tomorrow. When ice rolls up, man. And like the brother had said in the video, man, besides the time, you know, besides going to war with Iran, when have Trump not done what he said he was going to do, man. This guy's a goddamn devil, man.
Let me say this real quick. Hey, right now, they declared a state of emergency. The governor of Louisiana declared a state of emergency because Hurricane Barry or Tropical Storm Barry is barreling in. And on Double 777, it showed a depiction of a woman carrying 2 little boys, and she got that anguish look on her face, and she running through the waters. You know what I mean? Why? Because she's trying to escape that flood. She's trying to escape the tribulation that's coming.
But you know what it is?
She ain't gonna escape that.
You got Akim down there in Louisiana, man. You got brothers all across the world that's preaching the word. Did you take heed to that? No, you did not, man.
She probably was a scoffer in the school that waved her hand and talked shit. And that's why she got her 2 kids and she's running through the waters, man. And that's tribulation. That's a prelude of the tribulation that's coming, man. Right. You people have not a clue. Yahweh Shah in the ancient world was considered, his name was called Allah Shadia, man. He demon-like power, man. And you're going to see the power that the Most High has, man. He's going to unleash you through Esau. His whipping stick, man. So I got a little more. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth near, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. So about a race riot, man. You better believe something's going to happen, whereas it's going to be a race riot, man, where shit going to pop up, where Jake going to flip on Esau and Amalek and Ishmael and Ham. Yeah, bro.
Even their rate that's coming up. You got protesters that's saying, listen, if you want to get to these guys, you're going to get through us.
That's right.
So that can cause, that in itself can cause an uprising of somewhat. That can lead to, like a domino effect. You know, who knows how those guys will play out.
Hey, the scripture tell you what, the Lord is a man of war, man. And hey, yo, as wicked as they are Israelites. So the Most High's going to put that fighting spirit on them, man. You know, Jake can only push in the corner so much, man, until he start fighting back, man. You know, I tell you, the Most High was up the host of the battle. So the Most High gonna put that spirit, like the priest said, the Most High gonna put that spirit on Jake to rise up against these nations, man, and put their foot in their ass, man. And Jake will prevail, man. This is prophecy. There's no more. It says, 2 Ezra 15, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cost of the action sustaining their power. Meaning, hey man, during the time of martial law, man, these jakes are gonna be fucking totally out of control, man. They're not gonna regard the governor, they're not gonna regard what the mayor has to say, what the commission, the NYPD commission has to say. They're gonna be invading one another, doing what they do, man, to survive, man. It's gonna be martial law. It's like all hell going on in this society, man. You see, spreading prophetic words, man. You know, what are these niggas doing, man? Walking by, not giving a goddamn, man. But when that day, hey, that's scripture in Psalm, what was it, 110? My people shall be willing to stand that power. And that's the most despicable piece of shit person of them all, man. You know? Here it is, we're spreading the word of the Lord. We're telling you that you're the most important nation on the face of the earth. You don't give a fuck. But when the so-called white man got his fucking foot on your ass, man, foot up your ass, now you want to repent. Now you want to come back to the Lord. Nah, hell no, man. When you see brothers with spiritual powers, a while ago we were bumites.
They don't work that way,
A while ago we were drinking. You know? Pedophiles. But now we're brothers. Get the fuck out of here, man. It don't work that way, man. It don't work that way, man. Go ahead,
It's Psalm chapter 110, verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
Right. You still got Leviticus, right? Right. Now people shall be willing in the day of thy power, man. You know, what are we going to be doing in that day that they're going to be willing? And they're going to be willing to come try to get into this, man. They're going to be willing to listen to this, man.
Spiritual power.
Go ahead,
more help. You're going to be eating, living.
Right.
Leviticus 26, verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Because right now, Jake is looking at us like, niggas just like, niggas ain't got no type of power. Niggas ain't got nothing, man. They talking shit. They talking shit, man. Them niggas ain't shit just like me. But guess what? Go ahead.
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
Right. When you see 5 men chase 100 men. Go ahead.
and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to fight. Like,
You know what 10,000 men look like?
One man putting together,
That's an army.
one man putting to flight 10,000 men. Come on, man. Or two men putting,
100 of us.
Yeah.
100 of us putting together, putting to flight 10,000, man. So imagine you got one camp of men, 100 men putting to flight 10,000. Come on, man.
10,000 men to fight. You know, we gonna be doing some bad shit in them days, man.
Jake will see that shit, man. They gonna be like, oh,
Yeah,
man.
now they gonna want to get down.
Yeah, done.
But guess what, nigga? It's too fucking late. Your ass gonna be a part of that 10,000.
Yeah, put
running,
to
man.
death, man. Get
Your
right.
ass gonna be a part of that, man. So we ain't gonna have no mercy on you in them days, man. Ain't gonna be no brother. No, ain't gonna be none of that shit in them days, man. Because the Lord's Spirit's gonna be on us, man. That's right, man. Hey, man. And listen, the Most High is that man that drowned the whole fucking earth one time.
Right, yeah.
That's a dreadful thing to drown to death, man.
He only preserved 8 souls.
They only preserve 8 souls, man.
He saved more animals than you.
And that's deep, bro.
He saved more animals.
That's right. That's deep,
The
man.
Most High valued animals' life
That's right.
versus demons.
Yeah.
The fucking people.
And that's crazy, bro. The Most High preserved more animals than he did people. Man, he only preserved 8 souls, but he preserved 14 clean animals and the rest 7 animals that was unclean. He saved them, man.
7 clean animals and 2 of unclean animals.
Done, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's spiritual. When I was driving down here, man, I seen a dog sticking his head out the window. You know, I like seeing that, man. I like looking at animals. And I look at the dog, I say, your life is worth more than all these Edomites combined, man.
Yeah.
Your life is worth more than the nation of Edomites, man.
The nation
You know?
of Edom.
so it says, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
Right, so when we got that spiritual power and we taking out a so-called white man, then all these niggas gonna want to come in here, man. You know? But like we said earlier, man, it's gonna be too late, man.
That's right.
You know? And hey, man, for you heathens, man, you know, especially you fucking Hamites, always talking shit about Jake, looking down on Jake. Yo, man, that day is gonna be dreadful for you, man. Cause like we ain't gonna have no fucking mercy, man. Oh, and scripture also tell you the people amongst us shall be as David. Oh, this guy's bad. Go ahead, bro.
Zechariah chapter 12,
Hey, you see how the spirit work, man? That's right. Go ahead, bro.
verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And that's what brothers is talking about. You so-called white people, Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, Africans, all the people that touch the eye of the Most High, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, starting with the elect. Every one of you fucking heathens that did some harm or damage or anything towards the Lord's anointing, you gonna pay. You gonna pay greatly, man.
Yeah.
So it says, he said, I will seek to destroy them. Okay? And he's going to do that by the hand of his people, Israel. All right? And I will pour upon the house of David. Now, the house of David is when all 12 tribes was together. That's the northern kingdom, which is the 10 tribes, and the southern kingdom, which is the southern tribes, the so-called blacks, Haitians, and West Indians. And the northern tribe is the indigenous Indians, so-called, of North, Central, and South America. That's the house of David when they come together. So it says, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, the spirit of grace and of supplication, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. Oh, Salakia. I'm skipped it. Salakia. That was something different.
Right with that.
Verse 8, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. That's what the Lord is doing. He's going to make that standard against our enemies. It says, and he that's feeble among them at that day shall be as David. And David was a man after the Most High's heart.
A man of war.
A man of war.
Oh, the baddest man in Israel.
You got something
On David. Psalms 144 and 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, teaching my hands to war. and my fingers to fight. All right, so man, David was a bad man. Okay, he was a warrior. All right, down to his fingertips. All right.
Hey, and it was King David too that put forth that decree that all Israel should teach their sons to bow, man. Meaning you gotta teach your sons to fight, man. Teach them war, man. And King David, you know, he was the baddest man in Israel, man. That was the mightiest warrior in Israel, man.
Yeah.
You know,
But you use your fingers to shoot the bow, right? You know, use your fingers to ward, you know.
Let's look more. Let's look more right here. This is back in Zechariah chapter 10, chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angels of the Lord before them.
hey, now you gotta get 2 Maccabees chapter after this, man. I mean, 10 and 29.
Second Maccabees 10 and 29. It feeds right into it.
Yeah, it goes right into that, man.
It feeds right. I got it 10 and 29.
Yeah, it said the Lord's going to defend them, man.
Come on, I got it. And I got something right there after that right there. This is Second Maccabees chapter 10, verse 29. It says, but when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses.
It said the Lord's going to defend them, right?
Woo! I remember, I can remember this. I can visualize this book. I love this right here part, man.
Guess what, man? The angels, they going to come down, and that's the heavy that you speak about.
Let me read it again. It says, 2 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 29, but when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews, led the Israelites, man.
Yeah, they led the Jews, man. So guess what, man? Them brothers gonna come down. They gonna manifest themselves now, man. That time is coming where the angels will physically manifest themselves and help the elect, man.
Well, now check it out. You can visualize this. It says, and took Maccabees between them. So that means Maccabees is in the middle. He was right here. He was right here. One was right there. One was behind them. And they was guiding Judas Maccabees, man. I'm just telling you, man. Look at the sweet power of Yahweh Shah, man. It says, and took Maccabees betwixt them and covered him on every side with their weapons and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, against Antiochus Epiphanes, Antiochus the 4th armies, man.
Hey, man.
Arrows of lightnings, man. Kept Judas Maccabees safe, man. Whereas Judas Maccabees was doing his thing, man.
Come on, man.
You know?
Some brothers came down with the spiritual powers, man.
It says, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Verse 31.
They would pick the holy angels. The holy angels supposed to come down and give you flowers and fucking daisies. The holy angels came down and fucking slaughtered them, man.
I'm read it again so we can sing it to their ears, bro. It says, I'm reading from the top. And took Maccabees betwixt them and covered him on every side with their weapons and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightning against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Verse 31. And there was slain of footmen 20,000. Read it again, slack it. And there was slain of footmen 20,500 and 600 horsemen.
That's a fucking army and a half, bro.
They got put to death, man.
By 5 angels.
It says
5. One angel is mighty enough to destroy the whole. That was a galaxy
That was
or
a
whatever,
right
but
there,
they ain't gonna do that. Oh, no, GMS said no. You know what I'm saying? That's just how mighty they are, man. These angels, their knowledge and wisdom is far beyond anything you can imagine, man.
Remember this?
I'm sorry, bro. And the Lord speaks about their strength, man. You know, they're mighty in strength, man. You know,
And let me just say this: during the time of Hezekiah, when Sennacherib, the general of son of Manasseh the fourth, came to besiege Hezekiah, when they was talking shit and coming against them, I'm saying, talking shit, 185,000 Assyrians got put to death by one angel.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Showing you the power of the Most High, man. One angel put to death 185,000 Assyrians, man. Why? Because they was blaspheming the name of the Most High, man. Coming up against Hezekiah. That was a servant of the Most High, man.
This is Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear them and delivereth them. That's a perfect precept that lines up with Maccabees, right? And literally encamped around them and protected them on all sides.
That's right.
Showing you the scriptures is true, man. The scriptures is real. It's life.
That's right.
I don't know how else to word it, man. That scripture literally happened with the Maccabees brothers. So how much more us when the time of trouble comes?
Hey, we just in here right now, man. When we out here in the Howard Zimbabwe, a regular day travels, angels is here. So it's gonna get real physical, okay, and real hands-on, okay, when in that time just trouble, man.
Yeah.
If I can say so, that's why I mentioned, last week, that you don't know, Esau can send his angels out here like a fucking the angels met that angel halfway, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It slew him. Right? Send his ass packing, man. Or they just might have manifested. They might have just walked down the block and then they just see the angel manifested this thing and started plugging the fuck out, man. You don't know what the Lord is doing behind the scenes, man.
That's right. That's right. Hey, so
That was it.
Hey, so
Yeah, bro. Hey, man. Hey, Lord, when you brothers edify, man. That's what we come out here to do, edify the elect, man. So we want to say all praise and glory to the Lord.
Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Barakah.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to all full elect. Until next time, brothers. Shalom.